Morning people, welcome back up to the plot. There's a fair bit to do today, so I'm not going to waste your time with any useless prattle. I'm just going to get on with it. Come on in, let's do it. Well, as you can see, my Brussels sprout plants are being ravaged by caterpillars. I'm going to have to pick some off. There you go. I'm going to have to get rid of these guys. I can't have them on my brassicas. Along with the caterpillars, slugs have been a big problem this year. Okay, inspired by my juicing videos, I've decided to give kale a go. I've gone out and bought some small plants, as you can see. Obviously I won't be juicing these because there's hardly anything on them, but I will be planting them out today. It's September the 15th, so it's pretty late in the season to be getting anything substantial in the ground, I think. But I'll give these a go, plant them in the ground. Who knows, I may get an early crop by December, and if I do, I'll do a juicing video on it. Okay, so I'm going to plant the kale in the top bed. This was where the onions were originally. I've dug them all up and they're drying. There you go, there's some carrots, you can see the parsnips, and in the distance the Brussels sprouts. So I've dibbed a hole. It says 30 centimeters apart. That's probably way more than 30 centimeters. 6 holes for 6 plants. So I've planted the kale and I've added 3 hoops because the kale will need protection from pigeons and caterpillars. I'll just net these 3 hoops and we'll be done. I've just discovered I don't have any decent fleece. It's full of holes, so the only netting I've been able to find is this monstrosity, which isn't perfect, but it'll do a job until the plants get established, and then I might have to rethink their protection. But until then, that's where they're going to be. Well, it's starting to feel very autumnal on the plot now. As you can see, I've started the big clear up on some of the beds. The bed closest to us here had the Bunyard's exhibition broad beans and the 2 rows of peas, and then beyond that you can see the potato bed, which I've started to clear as well. I've taken the first 4 rows. Like I said, I dug the broad beans up a couple of weeks ago and was left with a lot of these papery husky shells, and what I'm going to do now, as you can see, is break them open and collect the seed for next year and have a go at growing my own Bunyards from this year's seed. So that's next year's broad beans sorted. There's a few grotty ones in the mix, but I'll still plant them out next year. In the meantime, I'm going to put these in a brown paper bag and just store them away until next season. Now, earlier on in the year I showed you this grapevine which was scrambling over this rosehip bush that I've got up the top of the plot. Let me just show you some of the bunches of grapes that are forming. There you go. I think there are some over here as well. And you dig into it, there you go. But the grapevine now is kind of taking over this rosehip bush, swamping it. And I said to you I was going to try and train certainly some of these vines. For example, this one, to come across and then along here to the shed over there. And let me show you what my dad has made. He's welded this little contraption here, which is very, very handy. Let me get it out of the ground. So we've got some square box tubing, mild steel, bit of stainless steel, welded to a point. We'll hammer that section into the ground. The post, which is a 2x2 wooden post, sits in there, and we've got 3 of these for the 3 posts that we've got. The posts I think are 7 foot tall, so place one there, and probably one there. So we'll start to try and train this grapevine around the front section of our plot. So I just wanted to show you that little piece of genius right there. Well, thank you for joining me if you have. I hope you've enjoyed a little tour of the plot, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.